Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome to Sergeant at Arms Club Officer Training. I am Edna Saucke, your presenter. If this is your first time as Sergeant at Arms, congratulations. And if this is not your first time, welcome back. Let me ask you this very important question. Do you remember your first Toastmaster meeting? Do you remember that person that welcomed you and gave you a big smile? I remember mine. The club was having an open house and the theme was Hawaiian. And they made a very good first impression. In fact, I joined that day. Sergeant at Arms plays a key role. Let's look at today's agenda. Today's agenda is SAA role, SAA responsibilities, SAA resources. Session objectives. Identify your role. Fulfill your responsibilities. Find resources that help you. SAA role is a combination. You will manage the club property, such as the banner, the lectern, timing device, pamphlets, guest book, national flag, ballots, office supplies, name tents. The list can go on, but you get the idea. You also coordinate club meetings and make sure everything is ready for a successful meeting. You are the liaison between the club and the management of the meeting place. For virtual meetings, there's no property to manage, no coordinating facility, but you do need to make sure you set up the virtual links for the meetings as well as set reminders, unless you have somebody else designated for that. Continuing on, your role as Sergeant at Arms, as stated in the club constitution and standard bylaws of Toastmaster International is, I'm going to read this. The Sergeant at Arms is responsible for club property management, meeting room preparation, and hospitality. The Sergeant at Arms chairs the Social and Reception Committee. The Constitution provides a definition, yet there are many other responsibilities that are made up of the day-to-day activities of the Sergeant at Arms. Everything you do as Sergeant at Arms should support the club mission. Let's look at that club mission. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self-confidence and self-growth. I bet some of you know that by heart. The SAA responsibility is in 3 sections: the club meeting, outside the club meeting, and the executive committee. Tackling the club meeting. This is actually split up into 4 types: before club meeting, upon arrival at club meeting, during club meetings, and can you guess the 4th? That's right, after club meetings. Let's look at before club meetings first. Confirm the meeting room reservations a few days before the meeting. For some venues, you may need to confirm 1 or 2 weeks in advance. Ensure there are club supplies such as blank ballots for voting best speaker, best table topic, best evaluator, or any other voting that you may have going on in your club, plus some office supplies. Next we have is our upon arrival at club meetings. Arrange meeting room and equipment at least 30 minutes before so the meeting starts on time. If you need help, ask. Arrange tables and chairs. Set out meeting materials and promotional materials. So again, you want to set out the lectern, the gavel, club banner, national flag, timing device, ballots, trophies, and ribbons. It is also suggested to place a table near the door to display promotional brochures, name tags, guest book, and educational materials such as manuals, club newsletters, and the Toastmaster magazine for members and guests to see. Upon arrival, you also need to check the room temperature. Adjust if it's too hot or too cold. Nobody likes a frozen or sweaty Toastmaster. Ask guests to sign the guest book. And if possible, provide them a name tag. I also added safety monitor. What you want to do is walk the premise to assess any safety concerns. And if possible and within the budget, have a first aid kit handy. During club meetings, welcome late arrivals. Sit near the door to welcome late arrivals and help them to their seat. Prevent interruptions and perform any errands as needed. Coordinate food services, if any. Collect ballots and tally votes for awards when necessary, unless your club takes turns on volunteers. In the virtual world, you can send your vote through online chat, the chat function, or a poll. In the online environment, the Sergeant at Arms can act as the moderator for the meetings. This will allow them to set the expectations at the beginning of the meeting to ensure they are conducted with the professional atmosphere of a Toastmaster Club meeting. After club meeting, return the room to original configuration, pack up and store materials as neatly as possible so that it's ready for the next meeting. Dispose of trash. Good news. There is no trash to pick up in virtual meetings. Woohoo! Next is outside the club meeting. Schedule meeting locations. For virtual meetings, have your links ready to share to the club. Maintain club equipment. Ensure adequate supplies are available. Attend executive committee meetings. Arrange your replacement or assistant. Prepare your successor for office. Throughout your term, you may have multiple volunteers. Try to identify which volunteer seems to be the best fit for your successor. The executive committee. Now that we looked at your club meeting responsibilities, we'll look at your executive committee responsibilities. Keep the executive committee updated on the status of the club meeting space. Notify the committee of any changes regarding meeting space, size, or cost. Work with the Vice President of Education and VP of Public Relations to coordinate meeting space for speech contests, special events, open houses. Chair the social and reception committee. Lastly, work with the secretary and treasurer to order replacement items if needed. When you fulfill this role, you're going to be asking these questions: the how, when, who, what. Now that we looked at your responsibilities in and out of the club, as well as your executive committee, we can explore the specifics. These are the questions that I want you to ask yourself. This is your homework. How will you fulfill your responsibilities? When will each action be completed? Who is available to help you? What materials and resources can you use? If you can answer these questions before, during, and after each meeting, you're off to a good start and a good year. There are some SAA resources. Checklist here. Getting started. Attend district-sponsored club officer training programs, such as TLI. Read the club leadership handbook and the Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan. Meet the outgoing executive committee to transfer any necessary information. Meet the outgoing SAA to transfer any necessary files or information. Meet with the current executive committee and develop the club success plan and budget. Contact the people responsible for the meeting place and introduce yourself. That is actually not needed in the virtual meeting platform. Lastly here, ask for volunteers to assist you, especially if time is limited. You may have different volunteers throughout your 6-month or 1-year term. Additional resources. This is a great time to take out your phone or do a print shot. We have 3 sources here: Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan, Ordering Club Supplies, Ballots and Brief Evaluations. And to the right, you can see the website link for you. Never underestimate the role of Sergeant at Arms. Setting the tone for the club meeting, preparing the room, greeting the members, and recruiting volunteers demonstrates competent leadership skills. Be sure to work closely with the executive committee to achieve Distinguished Club status. You are a key member of the team. Serving as the Sergeant at Arms improves your organizational skills and gives you the opportunity to practice running successful meetings. You will learn to delegate and be more detailed oriented. Put that on your resume. Sergeant at Arms, please smile big and make a lasting impression. Thank you so much for your time. Take care.